Yesterday I reviewed the last book in the Artemis Fowl series, so today I thought I would review the other 7 books in the series. The books were written by Owen Colfer, who is an Irish author, so as such the books take place mostly in Ireland, but also under the earth. The first book in the Artemis Fowl series is simply Artemis Fowl, and then on the back all it says is "Stay back, human, you don't know what you're dealing with." And this was right around the time that I started reading the series of unfortunate events as well, and those books would also tell you to like stay back. And actually I think a lot of the books at the time were doing that. They were coming out and they're like, you don't want to read this book, but really we do, and this is just our way of marketing to you to make you think you don't want to read it, but really you do, kind of thing. So, on with the plot of this book. In this book, Artemis is 12 years old, and he's basically a criminal mastermind who runs his life. His father is missing, his mother is basically catatonic. The only person who can influence him in any way is his bodyguard named Butler. He has a plan to re-establish his family's fortune. In this book, you meet most of the characters that you will know for the entire series. There's Artemis, Butler, Folly or Foley, depending on how you say it. You meet Mulch. This is one of the few books where the protagonist is actually the villain and the antagonist is the good guy. The second book in the Artemis Fowl series is The Arctic Incident. And unlike last time, Artemis has to join forces with the fairies because he's received an encrypted email from Russia that shows his father is being held hostage. It is in this book that the main antagonist of the series is introduced, Opal Kobe. The next book is The Eternity Code. Basically the premise of this book is Artemis Fowl is going to give up the criminal life. As soon as he gives up the most brilliant criminal feat of his career. And it goes horribly wrong. And the people are forced to intervene because the brilliant feat was selling fairy technology. The fourth book is The Opal Deception. And guess who's back in this book? So this time, Artemis has to face his arch nemesis, except he has no idea who she is. The fifth book in the Artemis Fowl series is The Lost Colony. So in this book, Artemis has a fangirl who is as diabolical as he is, or at least she thinks she's as diabolical as he is. So the sixth book in the Artemis Fowl series is The Time Paradox. I got this one from my Secret Santa in my junior year of high school, I think. So, something special in this book happens. Artemis Fowl becomes both the protagonist and the antagonist of the story. He has to go back in time and stop his younger self from doing things that the younger Artemis Fowl would do. Oh yeah, and there's also a surprise twist in this book that I won't spoil. But I think this might have been my favorite Artemis Fowl book. It's also so fat! So fat! And the seventh book, which is the penultimate book, is The Atlantis Complex. And he develops a split personality very early on in the book that is named Orion. So, like I said, Artemis Fowl is one of my favorite series of all time. You have Artemis, who has a tremendous character growth throughout the 8 books. And you have the characters who are very much physical characters, and you also have the characters who are incredibly smart. And being the nerd that I am, and the nerd that I was in school, I really liked characters like Artemis and Folly and Opal because they were smart. And when you grow up in a culture that seemed to like praise physical prowess of people and not so much like how smart someone was and being able to think their way out of problems, it was nice to have a main character that was smart and that used their brain all of the time. And it was also nice to see that, as smart as he was, that sometimes being smart isn't the only thing. And I have to go because my camera's about to beep low battery, or not low battery, insufficient memory space on my memory card. So while I was dumping the footage from my camera onto the computer, I was watching some YouTube videos, and I was watching a SciShow video that they were talking about. I'm reading what the there was a porcupine on the episode. It was a prehensile-tailed porcupine, and oh my god, the noise that porcupine makes is something out of an anime. And so I guess until next time, TTYL.